close your eyes, grabbing an apple instead, biting into it aggressively. He just laughed quietly, shaking his head as you were about to go while grabbing your backpack. Text me when you get there, okay? Come home with the driver. Don't wander around alone with your friends after school and eat your lunch properly. Nodding your head at every sentence. Yes, Appa. After your parents' accident, Jungkook was the one who took you home. Your father's best friend's son, barely in his 20s back then, already learning to handle his family massive business empire. He raised you himself, making sure you never felt alone. Now he's John Jungkook, the CEO everyone fears, cold, strict, and impossible to reach. People lower their eyes when he walks past. His name alone is enough to make others nervous. But with you, he's different. He laughs easily, teases you, spoils you more than he should. His voice softens when he calls your name, and no matter how busy he is, he still makes sure you eat, sleep, and stay safe around you. The cold CEO disappears, replaced by a gentleman who ties your shoelace, who still scolds you like a child when you skipped lunch and brushed your hair behind your ear. To you, Jungkook's family, to him, you are the one thing he could never let go of. It was already past 8 when he sat at the dining table, instant ramen with the chopstick while chatting with the maid about some drama playing on a TV. The house was too quiet without him. Did Jungkook Oppa say he will be back? You asked. The maid smiled softly. He said soon, miss. Just say you're about to take another mouthful. A hand suddenly snatched the bowl from your grip. Yeah, you protested, eyes wide. Jungkook stood beside you, his high tie loose and expression sharp from a long day, but those familiar eyes were already squatting. And again, he murmured, placing a bowl down with a sign. How many times do I have to tell you? You'll get sick eating this every night. He turned to the maid. Why did you give her this? You know she's not supposed to have it. The poor woman bowed. You crossed your arms, pouting. Then starve, he said calmly, sitting opposite to you, loosening his sleeves. You glared at him, but still picked up the spoon. Why were you so late anyway? There's a new project. Meeting ran wrong. You hummed, pretending not to care, but he noticed the way your gaze lingered, the quiet way you always waited for him. Also, don't make plans tomorrow night. We have a family dinner. Mom insists you come. Again, your family dinners are so boring. All they talk about is business and fancy wines. Then stay close to me. His tone came out lower than usual. His gaze lingered, then quickly shifted away. You hide your smile behind the spoon. Yes, sir. He gave you one of those quiet looks again, half stern, half something else before returning to her seat. Outside the night hummed softly through the city lights. Inside it was just two of you, bickering, teasing, pretending nothing had changed when everything slowly was. The June mansion looked so fancy with the big chandelier and luxury furniture. You sat quietly beside Jungkook in a big dining table surrounded by his relative. They were all talking business numbers, verses you barely understood. Jungkook's father sat at the head of the table, occasionally giving you a kind of glance, but his mother smiled just enough to be polite to you. You always get the feeling that she does not like you as much. Focused on eating while Jungkook spoke with his uncle about the project. He looked calm, confident, the perfect hero everyone expected. You just listened, trying to feel out of the place, cause no matter how nice Jungkook is to you, you knew that you were just a girl his family took in. You have changed, he said with a polite laugh. You look busier. Work does that, he replied smoothly, and just like that they were talking, effortlessly easy, matching in tone, two people from the same world. You watched quietly, feeling something in your chest twist. Minji laughed at something he said, her hand slightly brushing his arm. You looked away immediately, pretending to sip a water. It hurt so much. You could see it how perfect she looked beside him, the elegant, the posture, the diamond earring that caught the light, the way she spoke business like she had been burned for it. She fit the part while you didn't. You picked at the food, trying not to care, but every time Jungkook smiled at her, something inside you burned hotter. He rushed to your side, his voice laced with the panic as he knelt down, gently checking your ankle. Did you twist it? Why weren't you careful, huh? You winced, the pain really this time. I'm fine, Opa. It hurts a little. Don't move. His tone was firm, but his hands were gentle as he lifted you effortlessly in his arms. Other guests murmured, surprised, but Jungkook didn't care. His full attention was on you. Where's the first aid kit? He demanded, already walking out. You hid your face against a soldier, cheeks burning, heart pounding, and when you glanced back for a second, Jungkook's mom was watching, not shocked, was just quietly knowing, as if she already realized what you hadn't dared to admit out loud. Familiar scent of Jungkook's old room surrounded your faint cologne, leather, and a hint of foot polish. You sat at the edge of the bed, your ankle resting on his thighs as he sprayed a cool mist over it. Hold still, his voice low but aced with worry. You were so careless sometimes. You could have twisted worse. Tried to smile, but your throat burned. The image of him and that woman, the way he looked at ease beside her, wouldn't leave your mind. He pressed the cold spray again, and you flinched. Does it hurt? He asked immediately, looking up. His tone softened. Hey, look at me. You did, and he froze. Your eyes were glossy, and your lips trembling. His jaw tightened. He cupped your face gently, forcing you to meet his gaze. Don't ever say that again, he said, voice firm but trembling with emotions. I'm not going anywhere. You hear me? I'm never leaving you, little one. Your eyes met his, raw, uncertain, but his gaze held steady, warm enough to make you believe, even for a moment. Stood like that for a while, brushing his thumb under your eyes until your breathing calmed. Then his phone buzzed. He looked at the screen, his expression shifting. I have to take this, he said quietly, standing up. Important call. You know, Minji family has been close to us for years. She's beautiful, well educated, exactly the kind of woman who fits beside you. We have already discussed the engagement. You froze. Jungkook's jaw clenched as his next came out tight. I told you, Mom, I'm not marrying Minji. His mother signed the sound of tripping with irritation. Then who Jungkook, the girl upstairs? Her name is Ryan. Interrupt coldly. She's older now. His mother continued, ignoring him. You have done enough for her. It's time she focuses on her future, not cling to you like some lost child. She's a child. Jungkook snapped back. She's barely. Not a child, Jungkook. His mother raised her voice, and that's exactly the problem. Your heart skipped. There was a silence for a moment, then her voice dropped lower, bitter. Your father ruined everything, bringing her into this family. He should have left her where she belonged in the orphanage. Now look at this mess. Felt your throat close with the teary eyes. How can you even say that? He hissed. She's part of this family, my family. You don't get to talk about her like that. Family? She's nothing but a burden now. The engagement with Minji is already agreed. Once one leaves for university, things will be simpler for everyone. You don't have to carry her forever. But you didn't make a sound, just turned around, quietly walking back the stairs. Before the tears could fall downstairs, Jungkook's voice exploded. Don't you dare take her away from me, he shouted, his voice echoing through the halls. She's mine, Mom. She won't leave me. That's final. The silence that followed, and the upstairs you pressed your hand to your mouth, trying not to sob. You sat at the corner table with your friends at the Coles Cafe. Wait, you actually heard them? He nodded slowly, biting your lips from trembling. His mom said he's going to marry Minji girl and I shouldn't depend on him anymore. Your voice cracked at the last word as the girls exchanged a worried glance. The table went silent. You laughed weakly, brushing away a tear. Can you believe it? She said she'll send me to some university in London. Like I'm something they can just ship away. Nara reached out, touching your arm gently. Hey, maybe it's not that bad. You'll get to study abroad. I don't want to go abroad, your voice breaking. Don't want to leave him. You bit your lip, tears spilling over now. He'll never see me as anything more than a kid. He calls me little one, like I'm still that 12-year-old he brought home after my parents died. The girl exchanged a glance. All of them knew this wasn't just some cross. I love him. I know it's wrong, but I do. Every time he smiles, every time he scolds me, every time he calls me baby girl or little one, you wiped your face quickly. I can't stop, but he's going to marry someone else. You're only 18, baby. You will meet someone else, trust me. Once you go to London, the amount of hot British guys you'll see. Not scary every time he picks you up. He looks like he's plotting how to bury me alive. I swear one time he glared at me just for waving at you. Dude, I literally dropped you a drink that day. Your opposite is terrifying. No wonder the entire parking lot goes silent when he walks in. You couldn't help but smile. You're just protective. Overprotective, which is exactly why you are not telling him about tonight. What, of course, I have to tell before you could even finish minutes attached to your phone. Nope. If you tell him, he'll lock you at the home and won't let us meet you forever, or worse, he would homeschool you. The clock struck 12. Jungkook sat at the edge of the leather sofa, elbow on his knees, hands clasped so tightly that the vein of his forearm stood out. The lights in the living room glowed low and cold. You still went home. Where the hell is she? He called you again, 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 again. No answer. He shouted at the security team. The ministers got a call from him. I want every car stopped. Every time camera checked. If she's not home in 30 minutes, none of you gonna keep your stats tomorrow. And his father was already on other line, quietly smoothing the chaos his son had unleashed. Son, calm down. We're handling it. Then handle it faster. A powerful figure from the country had packed up their phone. Police were in every checkpoint because when Jungkook lost his calm, the entire system shivered. He had raised his voice at the house staff earlier. How could none of you notice she was gone? Now the house stood silent, too afraid to breathe, and Jungkook had chest heavening with the rage he couldn't control. The phone buzzes again, unknown number. He answered instantly. Oh, Jungkook, it's nervy. Once with the rest, she's safe and we're leaving the club right now. For a second, he didn't move. Then he leaned back, eyes closing as breath relief finally escaped his chest. Club? She went to club? Nary an apology before hanging up. The room fell silence again. Jungkook lowered the phone, his hands trembling slightly before he set it up on a table. From outside, he looked terrifying, face blank, breath coming too steady to be calm. The warm, smiling Jungkook everyone knew had vanished. What sat on the sofa was the CEO. The city whispered about gold, unreadable, and 1 second away from exploding. He leaned forward, voice barely murmured. What were you thinking, little one? The clock ticked again. He stood there, waiting silent, emotionless, until the sound of the car finally broke the stillness of outside. I said, let her go. His chest tightened, jaw clenched, eyes turned too dark, hands dropped from the waist as they stood away. Sorry, young. Jungkook didn't wait. He moved forward, grabbing Wan, making you stand, stable as you swung dangerously. Your body leaned against him like you couldn't even stand on your own. Jungkook stared at him, making him tremble easily as he ran from there. Jungkook pulled you inside with a little force, slammed the door too loud that made you flinch in his arm too hard. Wow, you're so mad. You giggled at your words barely came out steady. His dark eyes locked into yours. You think it's funny coming home like this with him? His voice cracked, trembling with disbelief and jealousy. You go out in a club without telling me you're wearing a dress like that? His hands tightened and without warning he pressed her against the wall. Her back hit the cold stone and she tried to push him away, but he only gripped her hands tighter. You think I'll watch you flirt with him or anyone while I'm waiting for you? Jungkook's voice was rough, harsh, filled with unspoken pain. The sound of a glass smashing on the floor made them both freeze. The maid had entered, her eyes wide. Reality hit him like a splash of cold water. Jungkook released her immediately. Wan's knees gave out. She collapsed on the floor, her laughter turning into the shaky breath, a mixture of amusement and embarrassment. He stepped back, dark eyes scanning her messy, darkened form. Just having take care of her, he said to the maid, voice steady, commanding. Then he turned and walked away, leaving you trembling, laughing, and leaning against the wall, the echo of his anger, desire, and jealousy lingering like a fire in the air. You whispered to yourself, still laughing, but your heart aching at the same time. Opal, why are you so scary when you're mad? I've been awake for a while. You shifted a little, staring up at him. The memory of last night flickered the water, the tears, and his confession about what you said yesterday. You whispered, voice trembling. Was it true? Jungkook gazed softened immediately. He cupped your cheeks, thumb brushing under her eyes. Every word, little one. I don't say things I don't mean. Even the part where you said you love me. He smiled faintly. That kind melted the coldness in the. You scared me first, going to the club, not answering my calls, coming home like that. I nearly lost my mind, Ryan. Don't you ever do that again, okay? Your eyes widened and softened with guilt. I'm sorry, Opa. I just wanted to forget everything for a night. He tilted his head, brushing a strand of her hair from her face. You don't have to forget anything. You come to me, little one, always. You smiled weakly, whispering, what about your mom? Jungkook chuckled softly, pressing a kiss on your forehead. I'll handle her. You don't have to stress over that. Let me deal with everything from now on. For a moment, silence filled the room, the kind of that wasn't heavy, just peaceful. One looked up at him again, small, playful smile tugging her lips. You know, if our parents were still alive, we probably would have been arranged to marry anyway. Your dad's best friend's son, remember? Jungkook blinked and laughed under his breath. That's all, huh? I guess fate was already planning something. He smirked, leaning down till their forehead touched. Fate or not, I would have found you anyway, kiddo. Don't call me kiddo, she whined softly. Then, what should I call you, Just Ryan. He kissed her temple, whispering, okay, Ryan, but you'll always be my little one. The warmth of between them lingered, the quiet rhythm of their hearts finally sank. Outside the world was waking up, but inside that room it felt like time had stopped, peacefully complete and theirs.